Hello, welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. When I arrive at the third floor, I find an unusual scene waiting for me. Sachi's wandering around, shouting out Amane's name. Makina's vague description of her objective prompts an instantaneous fiery blush from Amane. Sorry to butt in, but I'm positive you're misunderstanding something here, Amane. By the way, impressive work as always, class rep. A concise and edifying report. No, you just don't need to wear makeup. That a fact? I see.
だからマキナやサッちゃんみたいにまだお肌がツルツルしてる子たちには必要ないってわけ。では、アマネさんは必要があるということなのでしょうか。嫌な質問するわね、サッちゃんって。すみません。でもその通り。私はたまに肌が荒れちゃったりするからファンデーションをのせたりリップを使ったりしてるもの。
Really, if you're using cosmetics frequently, it's not particularly noticeable.
そりゃしてないように見えるように気を使ってますから。
Is there a need to worry about that?
だってユージ化粧してる女の子ってあまり好きじゃないでしょ。
Well, I'm not a fan of women who plaster it on, no.
だから気を使ってるんじゃない。
I see. When it comes to manipulating the complexion, I'm more familiar with face paint for camouflage purposes, but there are clearly some very large differences.
でも私たちだってもう何年かしたら必要になってくるかもしれないのよ。それはそうだけど。とにかく私は今化粧がやってみ。私からもお願いします、あまねさん。
Sachi bows deeply in earnest supplication. Amane hesitates for a moment, thinking the matter over with an uncomfortable expression on her face.
そこまで頼まれたらしょうがないか。本当け？後になって後悔したりしねえのけ？いいわよ。もともと嫌だったわけじゃなかったしね。
Makina shouts happily and throws her hand up in the air, exchanging an energetic high five with Sachi.
で、場所はどうする？人数いるとあまねの部屋じゃ厳しそうだし、ここでいい？で、何街角で美人を見かけた時みたいな顔してるのよ。別に今日の私は普通よ。
Or any less of an airhead, apparently. Where did you come from?
別に覗いてみたら楽しそうだったから出てきたわけじゃないんだからね。なんていうか、相変わらず分かりやすいわね、みちるは。分かりやすくなんてないわよ。複雑よ。いいから私も混ぜなさいよ。分かったわよ。一応この中じゃ一番うまい自信はあるし、この際まとめて面倒を見てあげるわよ。
Great.
さすがあまね、ビッチの日本代表なのよさ。
Whatever. Of course.
あんた本当に人から物を教わろうって気があるの？往々にしてすっごく嘘くさいけど、どうせやるって決めたんだから、ついでに榊さんも呼んじゃおっか。あのね、あまね、あの由美子がこういう催しに参加すると思う？思わないから。さっちゃん、お願いね。はい、お任せください。
It's been a few minutes since Sachi accepted Amani's request. Sakaki stands before my eyes with a resigned expression on her face, and her hands bound behind her back.
で、どうして私は小峰さんに拉致されたのかしら。唐突だけど、みんなに化粧を教えることになったから、榊さんも道連れにしようと思って。道連れって。まあまあ、榊さんもこの機会に覚えておいて損はないと思うわよ。それはどういう意味？榊さん、最近お肌が荒れることが多いでしょう。どうしてそのことを？よく夜更かししてるみたいだし、ジャンクフードも好きみたいだからね。男の子の転校生もやってきたことだし、 今のうちに覚えておくと便利よ。分かったわ。
Amane delivers her advice along with a wink or two. Before long, Sakaki responds with a small nod.
つまり孤高のユニコーン榊も一人の女、そういうことですね。
With one sentence, Sakaki's been pierced to the core. For Sachi, whose role is to establish order among the group, such sharp and ruthless insight must prove a truly indispensable asset.
まあこれであまねちゃんビューティースクールの生徒も揃ったことだし、早速講義を始めていくわよ。
その間お兄ちゃんは何をしているの？
Good question. I can leave if I'd be a distraction.
せっかくだからユージにはここにいてもらおうかな。どうしてその必要が？その方がみんな真面目にやってくれそうだから。あなたもいい性格をしているわね。ありがとう。
I don't entirely follow, but it seems that Amane has a surprisingly devious side.
というわけで、感想があったらバンバン言ってくれちゃっていいからね。
Got it. I'll take you up on that.
ユージはただでさえ遠慮がないってのに。気が重いわ。それじゃあ早速始めていくけど、まずは化粧水でお肌に水分を与えます。ああ、それなら私も知ってるわよ。傷口の洗浄とかにも使われるやつでしょ。それって生理食塩水のことじゃない？でもお化粧にも使うんでしょ？使わないわよ。
While Amane answers her students' questions and provides general guidance, each of them begins to apply their own makeup. Seeing women putting on cosmetics like this is probably a very rare opportunity for a man. I must admit, it's actually somewhat interesting to watch. You and me both, Yuji.
で、次に肌を守るために下地をのせていくんだけど、下地は毛穴を隠せたり、最近だと UV カットの効果なんかもあるから、用途に合ったものを選ぶようにね。
ここで余談なのだけれど、アマニーが使ってる化粧下地はとても美味しそうな匂いがするのよ。
だからって食べようとしたらダメだよ。
ひっひっひ。実はもう実行済みなんでさ。
We should really do something about the infantile habit this girl has of putting anything and everything in her mouth, preferably before she ends up poisoning herself.
で、その後に薄くファンデを塗っていくとこうなります。
Amane finishes her cosmetics demonstration, prompting a small chorus of admiring oohs from her audience.
一番長く生きてるだけあって、さすがにうまいわね。私もあまねさんのカモフラージュ能力の高さには驚きました。なんか素直に喜べない褒められ方だな。
But what's the plan now? Everyone probably wants to apply stuff in their own way to cover up different things, right?
そうそう。だからこの後は一人一人個別に指導していきます。なるほど。で、どうマキナ？実際に化粧してみた感想は？
よくわからないのだけど、なんか顔。
まあ、慣れるまでは違和感あるかもね。
私もできました。私もできたんだけど。
こんな感じでいいのかしら。いい感じいい感じ。みんなここまではちゃんとついてこれてるじゃない。
Amani inspects everyone's individual workmanship, nodding in apparent satisfaction.
じゃあ次はアイラインとかつけまつげとかそういうのを個別に指導していきますからね。
Somehow, it really has turned into a pretty respectable little classroom. Good job, Amani!
それじゃあみんなの上達ぶりをチェックさせてもらうわよ。
Just more proof that she's best girl. As the timed alarm goes off, Amani returns to the lobby after a half-hour absence. Having completed her instruction on the finishing touches, she decided to hold a little examination at the very end to evaluate her students' capabilities.
なんとか形にはなったけど、教えられた通りにできているかどうか。
誰でも最初はうまくいかなくて当然なんだから、そんなに緊張しなくてもいいのに。そうよね。というわけで同意してくれた榊さんから見させてもらうけど、どう？自分でうまくできたと思う？一応習った通りにやってみたつもりなのだけど。すっごく上手にできてるじゃない。ユージもそう思うでしょ
？Yeah, you're right. It's a nice slight level of makeup, not unpleasant to look at.
よかった。じゃあ次は不安がってたみちるね。と、テーマはザ・ツンデレ
Whoa,
なんだ。
she has big eyelashes now.
どう？まつげいくつつけた？
ほんの5個くらいだけど。
明らかにつけすぎだし、重みで目が半分くらいしか開いてないじゃない。
じゃあユージはどう思ったのよ。
The only element that says tsundere to me right now is your hairstyle, to be honest.
化粧全否定。
じゃあ続いてマキナ行ってみよっか。
お願いします。
Oh, yay.
これはどういうテーマ？
私はアマネーの出身地でもある京都に目を向けて京ガールをイメージしてみたのよさ。
She's a little too white.
私おしろいなんて思ってたけど。
これならサッチンが5分で用意してくれたのよ。
あ、なるほどね。
She's even got specialty makeup supplies in that locker.
でもこれって舞妓さん限定のメイクよね。
Yeah, wander around the neighborhood in this stuff and you're just going to startle people.
じゃあこの 化粧はなしということで。
実に不本意な結果なのよさ。
I liked her better
じゃあ
before.
最後は一番安心できそうなさっちゃんで。小峰さんの化粧は私も気になるわね。
サッチーはいろんな金型を作る職人さんの間に生まれた娘だけあって、こういう細かい作業は大得意なはずなのよさ。
I see. Makina does not need that much makeup. Growing up around talented mechanical engineers might explain why Sachi can deal with a wide range of hands-on tasks so deftly.
もはや確認するまでもないわね。というわけでさっちゃん、
She will look good, right?
うまくできている自信はないのですが。
Come on, Sachi. As Sachi timidly turns to face to Amane and to others, there are 4 simultaneous exclamations of pure shock and then a long moment of silence. Okay, what happened? What's wrong? Rendered speechless by her skill?
いや、
If she's done that great a job, I'd like to see if she smeared or something. I start to walk around the group to get a clear look at Sachi's face, but Amane quickly blocks my way. Why not exactly?
それはそのさっちゃんがかわいそう。なんでもないの。
For whatever reason, it seems this particular work isn't for my eyes.
皆さん、そんなに青い顔をされてどうされたんですか？いや、それはほら、なんというか、これも化粧のせい？
She can't look that bad,
な
right?
るほど、お化粧にはそんな効果もあるんですね。今度その方法も教えてほしいです。そうね。あと私まだメイクの落とし方を教えてなかったから、とりあえずメイクを落とそっか。それは構わないのですが、まだ風見さんの感想が。いいのあいつにはまた今度見せればいいだけなんだからね。
No, I want to see it now. I won't laugh.
疎ましがら
I
れるもの
won't
なのよ。
laugh. In the end, Sachi has been forcibly carted off stage. Oh well. The exact circumstances remain something of a mystery, but one thing is perfectly clear: you can't take your eyes off our class rep for a second, or shouldn't, at least. Incidentally, after this incident, Makina would never again express an interest in makeup.
ちょっとユージ、もうお弁当広げちゃったのにどこ行くのよ。
Nowhere in particular. Just thought I'd take a little walk of to latitude 34 south, longitude 58 west or so.
それってどこら辺になるんだっけ？
アルゼンチン
I
なの
think
よ。
she's gonna know where that is.
昼休みどこまで行く気やあんたは。
Everyone has their whimsical days, right? I'll get you a souvenir.
ほな、本場のドゥルセデレジェでも買うて食べや。
Such hurtful words. It's a weekday afternoon, and here I am walking out of a room to the jeers of a woman spurned. Seems I may be something of a heartbreaker. I do appreciate that Amani is concerned about my nutrition, but The thing is, these meals have been getting out of hand lately. Just sitting back and watching the angle coefficient going through the roof is growing increasingly awkward. Guess I'll head to the rooftop. Anyway, today I feel like securing myself a place where I can eat in peace.
風見さん
On the roof, even if I eat plain rice balls with a side of baked beans or take a nice siesta, there shouldn't be anyone around to nag me.
風見さん風見さんねえゆうちゃん
Look, I told you to quit it with that name. I turn around and find myself confronting a cardboard creature. There's something resembling a maid uniform peeking out from below the massive boxes, but tragically, given my far from voluminous vocabulary, I can't think of a more appropriate nomenclature. Dude. What?
あまねさんたちとお昼を食べないんですか
Sorry, but I don't have any cardboard creatures among my acquaintances.
ダンボール
If you're not a cardboard creature, then what are you?
確かに今の私はダンボールと言っても過言ではないかもしれません
That's what I'm saying.
ですが厳密に言うとダンボールではないと思います
Yes, you are! That fact, at a glance, you don't seem to be made of plastic.
いえ材質の話ではなく私はサチです小峰サチです
Now that you mention it, that voice does sound familiar.
忘れられたわけではないようで一安心です
That said, it's also possible that you're an imposter assuming the role of Sachi.
だとしたら FBI でしょうか
I'm not even going to ask why you picked them in particular. Anyway, in order to confirm that you are neither a spy nor the incarnate avatar of cardboard, I'd like to ask you 2 or 3 questions.
バッチコイです
Excellent. Well then, first question. Did you hear that nickname you just used from someone in particular?
あまねさんがそう呼べばユージは絶対返事するからと
Figured as much.
他に質問はありますか
Let's see. When's your birthday?
9月23日です
Come to think of it, I didn't know Sachi's birthday in the first place. Oh well. How about your blood type?
王と驚く大型です
Didn't know that either. Okay, how about the color of your underwear today?
白と青のストライプです
Where do you keep the underwear in question when it's not in use?
部屋にあるチェストの1段目の引き出し手前側です
Still suspicious. Fascinating as all this is. Upon reflection, I haven't asked a single question that I can actually confirm the answer to. But judging from this unflinching aura of honesty, and the way every response somehow makes the guy asking the rude questions feel awkward, there's little doubt that this is the genuine article. Very well, I accept you as Sachi.
ありがとうございます
With those polite words of thanks, the cardboard creature, or rather Grisaia, bows to me. So I assume you're carrying all these cardboard boxes because someone asked you to.
はい、午後の授業で使う教材を多目的教室まで運んでいる途中です。
I see. And presumably you changed into the maid uniform because you're more comfortable working in it. Either way, carrying this massive pile of boxes around must be quite difficult, even if the contents themselves are light. Offer encouragement and go to the roof, or help Sachi. Neat. I want to offer encouragement. I know you're used to this sort of job, but the more confident you are, the more likely careless accidents become. Try to stay on your toes, alright? No, I don't think that's called for right now.
なるほど。風見さんのアドバイスは難しいです。
With this exchange of pleasantries completed, Sachi wanders off toward the stairs, still puzzling over my words. Is she doing this on purpose? Looking back on all my conversations with the girl to date, it's hard to believe anyone could be such a perfect airhead. Either way, I suppose almost every organization has its loafers and its diligent sorts, and it's natural to rely on this hard work of the latter group. But I think the dichotomy at the school might be a little too stark. It feels like we're completely dependent on Sachi's efforts. Might be something worth thinking about. Sorry, but I don't think I'm up for listening to you complain about your life right now. Please try someone else. Oh, so in that case, you want me to help you trim the bonsai tree you've started to raise in a futile attempt to relieve the crushing boredom of your existence? Okay. You find this exhausting? Personally, my heart throbs with refreshing joy every time I see your face, Chizuru. Instead of responding, she heaves a weary sigh. So, did you need something?
今後の授業で使う教材がこれから届く予定なんだけど、搬入の手伝いを頼まれてくれないかと思って。
What? The suppliers don't bother to bring them in?
今の時代、テレビや洗濯機を買ったって設置は別料金でしょ?
So there's a fee for bringing deliveries inside the building now? The world's becoming a cruel place these days.
だからこそ、心優しい学生の助けが必要なのよ。
Well, this school has a severe lack of males to help out with this sort of thing. If I refuse, Sachi or one of the others will probably end up getting pressed into service in my place. Volunteering is the more attractive option. Got it. I'll give you a hand.
あなたにしては珍しく素直な反応ね。
Nah, I'm just in the mood to earn myself some of those nice pastries that a certain someone is always stocking up on using misappropriated school funds.
この子はどうしてそういう意地悪を言うのかしら。
I was born this way, I'm afraid. Try not to let it get to you. What is he talking about? From the moment I coldly rejected him on his goodwill and fled the classroom, it seems I was fated to carry things around one way or the other. Hey, Michiru is crooning nasally to herself. It's not particularly pleasant to listen to. But then again, humming is one of the few forms of musical expression that exists solely for the satisfaction of the performer. Sometimes it's a natural outflowing of happiness in a moment of relaxation, but at other times it's an attempt to calm the nerves in a moment of crushing stress. I don't know which psychological state has given rise to Michiru's song, but I do know how I can subtly manipulate her mood. I sneak up behind Michiru and softly synchronize my voice with her song. And now I begin to gradually alter the melody, keeping every individual change small enough that she won't catch on. Michiru spins around flustered, her face reveals sheer, uncomprehending bewilderment. By slowly changing my upbeat melody into a grim funeral march, I guided her own song down the same dark path, but my victim clearly doesn't realize this was my doing. Yo, something the matter? Got you, Michiru. Oh, that's a pity. Anything? Who, me? Like what? Despite its inherently subtle nature, subliminal manipulation of this sort can dramatically influence human behavior through its effects on the subconscious. For example, I could persistently hold eye contact with Michiru as we speak. This can be mildly intimidating in its own right, but the effect increases significantly when I wait for her to blink before doing the same. Exactly. By quickly opening my eyelids before her, Michiru would soon be under the illusion that I never blink. What's more, it's very rare for anyone to consciously notice this is taking place. Instead, a nagging sense of unease grows in the back of their mind. Use enough of these tricks and outright psychological manipulation as possible, but this time the humming game proved sufficient for my objective of screwing with Michiru. Yeah, sorry about that. Here I have to be more specific. What are you accusing me of? Michiru jabs her forefinger in my direction, her eyes smoldering with aggression. Why get so bent out of shape over something like this?
しょ普通。
True, but that's not a good thing. You know, someone once said that relationships are like a mirror.
自分の態度が相手に反映されるってこと？
Yes, that's how mirrors usually work. Your approach seems to involve repeatedly bashing your head against the glass. Planning to go to Looking Glass Land? Just so you know, Humpty Dumpty is currently sitting in a carton on my fridge. Okay. Okay, Yuji.
何？
Alright
どういう意
then.
味？よくわかんないんだけど。
Alright, I'll give you the short version, Michiru. You tend to treat others with all the friendliness and charm of a lollipop-sucking brat who's just been denied a new toy.
これは私の性格だから仕方ないじゃない。もう直しようがないのよ。
I suppose not.
そうよ、仕方ないのよ。あんまりそういうこと言うとローリングそばっとするわよ。
Michiru shadow boxes in my general direction while making little kapow sounds. Seems she has no idea what a rolling soba actually is.
素直になる訓練をするのよさ。マキナ？チルチルは確かにツンデレだけど、素直になったらきっと可愛い女の子になると思うのよ。というわけで素直になる特訓をしたらいいと思うのよさ。
そんなの嫌よ。私は私でいたいの。
Training, is it? What do you have in mind?
ちょっと聞いてる？無視しないでよね。
マイナスとマイナスをかけるとプラスになるでしょ。だから素直じゃない2人をくっつければ素直になると思うのよさ。
Makina, my friend, you seem to have equated numerical multiplication with sticking people together. Are you sure the same rules apply?
それはいいの。というわけでユミちゃんとチルチルをくっつけてみればいいのよさ。
Are you planning on literally tying them to each other with rope, or what? Might prove a little tricky. I suppose gluing them together with vanilla Grisaia is also an option.
そういうことなのよさ。ではチルチルには悪いけどちょっと気絶してもらうのよ。
Makina swiftly circles behind Michiru and delivers a sharp karate chop to the back of her neck. Oh.
あいだ。あり？ちょっと何すんの？めっちゃ痛いんだけど。いや、テレビとかだとこれで気絶するのよさ。
おかしいのはあんたでしょ。いきなり首の後ろをチョップしてもし気絶でもしたらどうするのよ。
いや、だからそれが目的で。あ、空飛ぶ円盤。
え、どこに？あいだ。だからなんなの？
おかしいな。
Michiru, I'm growing curious about this Yao Chie you keep mentioning. Friend of yours?
痛いってことよ。首に衝撃が走るとなぜか蛇行になるのよ。っていうかユージ、あんたマキナを止めなさいよね。
Yuji.
あ、空飛ぶんでげ。
え？んでげって何？
That one was good.
おかしいな。ねえねえ、なんでテレビみたいに気絶しないの？
It's pure fiction. You're not going to knock anyone out that way unless you get the angle absolutely perfect. Even then, misjudge the force and you can end up dealing irreversible damage. It's not something you should try at home.
そうなのか。それはチルチルに悪いことしたのよさ。
Well, I guess I could have been quicker about telling you myself.
首の後ろがズキズキする。あ、そうだ。あっちの方法は？
Well, I'm sure you've heard that a blow to the abdomen can be particularly effective, but...
やあ、溝落ちパンチ。
Oh. But as I said, you shouldn't attack someone's vital points for no good reason. You're running the risk of causing lasting harm. Now you're just hurting her.
もうチルチル、顔が真っ青になってるのよさ。それどうやんの？
Now, Makina. It's not as though Michiru intentionally drained all color from her face. She's simply experiencing temporary breathing problems as the result of a sharp impact to her abdomen. Don't you have something to say to her?
あ、そっか。チルチル、ごめんよ。
I think she's trying to tell us something, as she isn't currently capable of speech. We should read her lips.
別に謝ってほしいわけじゃないんだからね。と言ってるのよ。
Even under violent torture, her tsundere spirit remains unbroken. You must admit, the girl has guts.
しなさいよね。なんでグーで腹パンしてんのよ。おらしき。そうじゃないのよさ。私はただチルチルに素直になってほしくて、そうしたら可愛い女の子になるんじゃないかなって。私はこれでやってるんだから邪魔しないでよね。
どうかなさいましたか？
あ、サッチー、それがね、チルチルが気絶してくれなくて困っているのよさ。
気絶？後遺症が残ってもいいのであればではあるけど。
Unfortunately, we do mind. Come on, Makina. You've given her a pretty good beating already. I don't really think there's any use to, or need to render her unconscious, is there?
いやいや、気絶してロープで縛る。それが今のチルチルには必要なの。なんもかわいそうなことはないの。むしろいいことなのよさ。
いいこと？なるほど。それなら気絶させなくちゃいけないね。
そうなのよ。サッチン、頼むのよさ。何よ。
後遺症はダメだ。
Sachi stares fixedly at Michiru, apparently puzzling over the best way to make her fame. Of course, Sachi's defining characteristic is her willingness to use any means necessary to achieve her ends, as Michiru is well aware.
ではここは一つバールのようなものでこじ開けてみましょう。
どこ？私のどこ？
頭です。では皆さん少々お待ちください。バールのようなものを用意させていただきますので、そうすれば激しい痛みできっと気絶するはずです。 気絶してしまいました。
Michiru's eyes collapsed on the floor, her nose twitching in terror. Seems she took it upon herself to lose consciousness before someone violently took it from her. A prudent choice from the perspective of damage minimization. Sachi, Michiru's kindly rendered herself unconscious for us, so I think the crowbar-esque tool is no longer necessary.
はい、そうですね。では、私はここで失礼させていただきます。
Before you go, I've got a quick question.
はい、何でしょうか。
When you said crowbar-esque, what were you thinking of specifically?
それは、バールです。
だったらバールでいいのよさ。なんでのようなものを付け足すの？
出るかなと思いまして、雰囲気が。それでは失礼いたします。
I see. The crowbar is certainly crowbar-esque.
長年の疑問は解けたけど、なんだか釈然としないのよさ。
Alright, what do we do with Michiru now that she's unconscious?
ひとまずロープで縛ってみるのよさ。ロープ。
はい、銃と縄。
ありがとう。
縛るときに縄の表面がトゲトゲして痛くないようにちゃんと蜜蝋でなめしてあるから大丈夫だよ。それじゃあね。
That girl's ready for anything. Have to admit, I didn't expect her to have specialty BDSM ropes lying around. Specialty BDSM ropes lying around.
うちは用意周到すぎてたまに怖くなるのよさ。では、ぐるぐるのぐるぐる、ポレポレのポレポレ。
Well, well, this is pretty nice work. Rope bondage over the clothes has its own refined flavor. And you've got quite respectable tortoiseshell pattern over the bust here.
ほどけないように念入りに縛ったら、たまたまこの形になったのよさ。
You produced this fine piece of work without even realizing you were doing it? You must have seen the pattern somewhere. Either way, I think you have a definite talent for this. Might be a potential career path. Okay. Makina runs off somewhere, leaving me alone in the hallway with Michiru, who's tightly bound from head to foot in an intricately crisscrossed web of jute ropes. Come to think of it, I thought tying her to Sakaki was the whole point. What's up, Tortoise? I thought you were supposed to be unconscious at the moment. Yeah, I guess it would be. I don't think many students would have the guts to engage in tortoiseshell-style rope bondage in the hallways of their own school. You sure about that? Once Makina gets back, she'll just call Sachi again. That seems problematic in its own way. So you'd like me to untie you after all? Oh, you're being awfully polite and straightforward about your feelings. Ah, humankind's lot is a sad one. Our lives are full of paradoxes.
早くしなさいよね。
ユミちゃんいたから連れてきた。
何？どういうこと？これはその松島さん、そういう趣味があったの？違うの、そうじゃないの、誤解なの。言い訳できるような状態じゃないと思うんだけど。本当に誤解なの？ねえ、有事そうでしょ。あんたからも何か言ってよ。風見くん、これもしかしてあなたがやったの？
Nope, this happens to be Makina's work. Seems she's something of an expert.
イリスさんは？
Yeah, after tormenting Michiru's body at length, Makina gave her a few final blows, then finished things off by tying her up nice and tight.
そんな趣味な上に女同士で。違うわよ。ユージ、なんでそんな誤解を招くような言い方を。イリスさん、それは本当なの？
何度も叩いた後に縛ってやったのよ
そう、その個人の趣味にとやかく言うつもりはないけど、公共の場所では遠慮してほしいわ。ここは学校でしょ。
Sakaki's got a point. I have to agree.
ユージ！それじゃ失礼するわね。待って、誤解だから。ねえ、ユミコ、榊さん、榊さん。さん、これほどいていただけませんでしょうか？
素直になってる。すごい、私の考えは間違っていなかったのよさ。
Congratulations, Makina. You flipped her psychological switch. At long last, the true Michiru has broken free of her tsundere shell. Whoa.
はい、その早く縄をほどいてください。
さあ、チルチル、これからは素直な人生を送るのよさ。
まずユミコに説明してくる。
No more.
説教はそれからよ。榊さん、誤解なの、誤解なんだってば。
あれ、思ったより素直になってなかったのよさ。
You probably left too much slack in those ropes. Next time, tighten them up until you leave nice deep marks on her wrist, alright? Get her rope drunk and I'm willing to bet she'll become a lot more obedient. This is disturbing. Oh, you'll know it when you see it.
わかったのよさ。縄酔いさせる。
And thus, Makina demonstrated a brief glimpse of her hidden potential as a BDSM artist, but after Michiru's vigorous scolding, she would never again put that ability to use. I watched the promising glimmer of her rising talent slowly, quietly fade away, never to realize its true potential, but couldn't really bring myself to care. The end.
ちょっと変なこと言わないの。どういうつもりよ。
Were you off trying to clear your name with Sagaki?
それより先にあんたに文句があんの。何よ、さっきの独り言は。
Was I off base? You were planning to scold Makina, right?
するけど、その私のせいで才能の目が摘まれたみたいな表現やめてよね。
Sorry about that.
本当に最低なんだけど。
But then again, didn't it feel really good when she finally untied the ropes?
はあ、気持ちいいわけないでしょ。バカじゃないの。
Really? All that stagnant blood, laboring to circulate through your body under the pressure of the ropes, suddenly surged freely through your veins. That must have produced at least a light euphoria as a physiological phenomenon. I myself once experienced a wave of indescribable pleasure just from loosening the belts on my arms after a pressure training session.
そんなことわかんないわよ。バカバカバカ。M じゃないからね。M じゃないもん。
I didn't say you were. You're overthinking this.
今度あんたのことを縛ってやる。
I see. So you're a sadist?
バカ！変態！
What a hopelessly confused individual. Can't even figure out her own sexual preferences. Oh, well. Alright, I learned nothing from that. Bye-bye.